All right, and welcome back. We are here in the grand finals, the culmination of this day-long tournament, a round robin into a semifinal matchup. Now we're here in the grand finals. I am Bahamut, one of the casters. With me is Styxa. How excited are you for this final matchup? It's going to be Starcraft versus Diablo.
I have been waiting all day for this, so I'm excited to get this cast in. Actually, I had the honor of doing the first cast of the day, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, between these two teams. So I get to see them go at it again. But this time in the finals. A little bit different, though, of course. No ludicrous speed happening this time around, but rather, as you did mention, Diablo versus Starcraft. I'm excited to see this. I think this will be a very good map to be playing, or a very good game mode. And then, of course, you know, the map is Warhead Junction.
Oh, yes. And this is about to be real interesting. And now, to quickly catch up the audience, in case you are like, you know what, I'm not sure what's happened so far. That's fine. We'll catch you up. We just had a semifinals. Geeks of Ganks went up against Trollin Blizz. Trollin Blizz came out on top of that matchup. And then the other side of it, we had Nexus Realm Power Heroes versus Lords of the Hype Forge. And actually, in an upset, we actually had the Nexus Realm Power Heroes coming through. So that is our grand finals. Trollin is actually on the left, which we'll have in a second, is going to be Nexus Realm Power Heroes. And then we'll have them versing Trollin Blizz in this grand final, best of three. And the first game is going to be Starcraft versus Diablo. What do you think you'll get? Is there anything that stands out from those two those two, I guess,
Dahaka.
Genre? Dahaka stands out.
Right
now,
away,
what about
Dahaka?
Now, what about for Diablo? Is there anything specific that really kind of calls out to you?
Now, remember, this is skin oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple of heroes that have themed skins. Who they are does not come to mind right now, but I'm sure they will. Let me think. Starcraft was an easy one. Dahaka is huge on this map. I think he's just going to be an absolute powerhouse. If it's not banned out, blows my mind. But Diablo, do you have anybody on mind?
I mean, I'm a filthy Azmodan main, and I think he'll work here. But at the same time, our Lord of Terror, I like the idea of a Diablo. I think the brawling that he brings to the table is so much fun to see. And realistically, I don't think we've actually had any sort of Diablo games. There's a lot of good team fighting areas. There's a lot of good, walls for him to kind of get that slam into. Yeah. It's one hero that kind of pops out to me realistically, but to my heart, to my core, I wish that there's an Azmodan in this game. I would love a Lord of Sin.
I don't think there's gonna be an Azmodan in here. Maybe they'll do it just for you. Who knows, Baha? But fingers crossed. But oh man, I'm trying to think honestly for Diablo. Sonya. I think Sonya's just a great solo laner. Malthael, great solo laner. These people are decent at taking camps. Li Ming is going to be their go-to. I'm not sure this would have been my immediate pick, but pretty confident in Trollin Blizz just picking that up immediately. So
I like that. The Trollin Blizz, they went ahead and they were just the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, Alebeard is a top-notch Li Ming. If I'm remembering correctly, the lock on this Li Ming is because it is a very, very good comfort pick. But we're going to get Jimmy Laner, who's got great poke. I mean, we saw him in the last game. He's got a good zone control. We could see the Raiders, but Dahaka on top of that, as you mentioned right out the gate, and I do not disagree one bit, Dahaka is so strong on maps like this.
Yeah, no, Dahaka is absolutely a go-to. It's an immediate pick. And I told myself, hey, there's no bans. And then I talked about banning out Dahaka. And, well, guess what, guys? There's no bans here. So you are just free reign to pick these heroes. There's Sonya and there's Diablo. So you get your Diablo.
Everyone's getting what they want in this game. Now
the Sonya skin needs to be changed though, because it's technically from Warcraft at this point. But
hey, I mean that isn't a bad point.
Yeah. I mean,
so
You could have. Yeah, see, there we go, Liquid.
I'm seeing the admin in chat.
Even Ming could have been picked up from Starcraft because she has a Protoss skin now, too.
It's very true. It's very, very true. Now, the other thing, too, is Butcher. I believe he has the... No, that's the Butcher Lisk skin. Is that... No, that's StarCraft, or is it supposed to be after a Nubrak?
Butcher Lisk is Zerg.
It's supposed to be after StarCraft, okay? Because like I look at it and I'm like, it's very bug, you know. But you know, you're right. It is that StarCraft skin. Momentary lapse there, but we do have the Murden being picked up with the StarCraft skin. So we have a Warcraft hero being picked up for the StarCraft team here.
I'm surprised we didn't actually see ETC. Honestly, I think an ETC might have lent itself a little bit more to the team comps. You know, you get something that is just giant map presence.
Hello, there's your warning.
Yeah. You get something with a global map presence in the form of stage dive, but they're gonna opt for the Murden instead. This is a sneaky pick because this is a skin that I don't get to see very often, as it is banned in competitive play. But of course, there's no holds bar here. Final pick gonna come out. I like the Morales. I mean, maybe they're gonna go for, you know, maybe they go for another mom van here. It's a medevac, but they're gonna go for Tychus, which I think is fine. I think
sun's out, guns out. I like this. Tychus has a lot of good sieging here. I think in the Odin form, especially on a map like this, is really, really strong. The team fight that they've currently got, I think, is phenomenal. 2 really good stim drone targets. A nice frontline tank. You've got Dahaka as well, just to get that split soak. Overall, I really, really like the draft of Nexus Realm Power Heroes. But at the same time, Sonya, Li Ming, Diablo, Nazebo, Karazim, I mean, that's a really strong composition. And that's a lot of core good heroes. Resets from Li Ming, really good solo laning from the Sonya. Nazebo's got his own kind of push power as well. And on a map like this is great.
Yeah, you're going to be looking for trolling Blizz to be looking for like a long, elongated game. Picking up Nazebo is, you know, you're looking for level 20 for the most part. When you're done stacking, you've got a ton of health. If you pick that level 4 talent, you've got a ton of damage, especially if you pick Vile Infection at 20. But typically, this was it's the largest map, but it was almost the fastest map. I think this has the fastest victory in professional level play, like 5-6 minutes or something crazy bananas like that.
It was like something like, it was like sub 6 minutes. It was like 550 something, or if it was like 650 something. It's one of those two, but yeah, it's such a such a quick map, and there's cheeses that were done, and that's the main reason it went so quick. And the other factor too is, like, personally, like, this was my least favorite map to play. Like, I'll take Hanamura. That kind of 50-50 on that one. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I think a Warhead Junction map would be okay, but like Hanamura, I think maybe a little bit over this. Either way, it's still like, it's so interesting because I haven't gotten to cast on this map in ages. So this is going to be an absolute blast to see how these teams are going to be utilizing a map that isn't really competitively watched or played.
Yeah. Now, going into these comps, I'm looking at the comps, and I kind of like the Diablo team a little better, but I like Dahaka here, and because it's a StarCraft map, clearly you get a plus 50% bonus for a home field advantage. Yeah, so we're looking at Nexus Realm Power Heroes with a little bit of a bonus here coming into this game, but yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. I kind of agree with the bonus, but because at the same time, just like StarCraft map, StarCraft theme. Ooh, maybe you get this advantage. But we are going to find out here in just a minute. Actually, we have one player that I do believe dropped. I don't know if we're going to get a pause. They are back right in here. Get our obs locked to me, or production locked to me, and we are going to get going into this game number 1. Nexus Realm Power Heroes on the left. We have Ro on the Lieutenant Morales. Solid Jake going to be playing the Tychus. Flame G going to be playing the Raynar. Zixurus going to be on that Dahaka, and DJ Tyrant going to be playing the Muradin.
I love the backing animation of Dahaka, but over here on that right-hand side in the red will be Trollin Blizz. We got Alebeard on that Li Ming. Guaz will be playing the Diablo. We got Bags on Sonya. Rosai on that Karazim, and Mystic Shroud's going to be playing that Nazebo. 4v5 in the mid lane. going for that vision right away. Dahaka in the bottom lane. Are we looking for a couple of stacks here, maybe from the Muradin? Yes, indeed, we will get one. But they're just kind of, I imagine they don't want to get some big fights. But Ro, it looks like maybe a little bit of lag there. Going to be walking right into those spiders. A little bit of Li Ming damage. Going to fall immediately. Great stun there by the Diablo. Body blocking onto DJ Tyrant. Down goes the Muradin. 2 quick kills for the side of Trollin Blizz. Walking away with that EXP. But Dahaka, rather, in that bottom lane will be soaking up that. Hopefully pushing a little bit more of his own wave into those towers before the opposing team can make it down and soak the wave.
That was a very, very dominant start to this. But if you look at the experience, Zexerus not in the best spot. Going to use his burrow for a split second. But he's really far down this lane. And I don't know if they're going to be able to maybe pick up the kill on him as Nazeebo is getting some of those autos. That is a pick onto the Diablo as well. And I was just about to say, oh, the Diablo was in bottom lane and the experience is equal and blah, blah, blah. But they get that pick and it's already starting to go right over in favor for Trollin Blizz.
Yeah, Trollin Blizz already starting off pretty strong. Looks like Ro is okay for connection, at least right now. I would hate to see him die right away because of, connection issues, but, it happens. Muradin look for a couple of stacks, going to be hitting Alebeard. Don't want to be that far out as Li Ming, especially with the lane pushed out so far as it is. Tyke is getting stunned, but the minion going to be taking one. Get down, Mr. President, says that minion going to be protecting solid Jake as Diablo, unfortunately, will miss. And this will allow Jake to get a little bit of extra poke damage, forcing Rosai back. And Li Ming just looking for a little bit of orb poke, and I believe, did we pick up, Astral Presence here instead of Power Hungry. Interesting talent pick there.
So they're going to go ahead. They have, honestly, experience is still just equal. 4 is being hit for both teams at just about the same time. The nukes, the nukes should be available here in the next 15 seconds, or the counter will start in 15 seconds. We do have a little bit of a dive onto Flame G there from Bags. Not going to be getting a kill or anything, but just making sure that he's poked out a little bit. And then the rest of the lanes, they're just kind of starting to get some map pressure. We saw the Kharazim grab that camp, create a little bit of pressure in bottom, but this is the Warheads going to be popping up here in a couple seconds.
Yeah, we already have 4 Warheads coming up, 2 in that mid lane, 1 in the bottom. We see, 2 members of each team positioned in that bottom. We got Tychus and Dahaka, and the sustain from Nazeebo and Kharazim gonna, I think, out push that. But we do have Li Ming coming down again. So this kind of frees up Diablo to kind of grab it here in the mid lane, while Sonya and Raynor duel out in the top. Bag's going to be playing quite aggressive, trying to get as much of the damage on to that Raynor as possible. But it looks like we're going to be trading each of those sides in the middle lane here. I think that's potentially a mistake. I think they could have got a free poke there onto the Diablo instead of playing it a little bit safer there, but it looks like the bottom nuke went over to the side of Trollin Blizz as Zexerus tanking a ton of damage, forced to tap as down goes the nuke. Gonna be able to take that wall down, except for that tower, but it'll go down eventually. No big deal.
Currently have a little bit of a fight here in mid between DJ Tyrant, Rowan, and Guaz, but it looks like he actually gets his nuke out just in time as the team rotates up, and they're able to kind of open this up a little bit further, and they're starting to kind of push these 3 men back. And the other thing to note really quickly is Raynor grabbed the nuke in top as well, went ahead and utilized that. So a lot of push power coming out from the members of Nexus Realm Power Heroes.
Yeah, unfortunately, Raynor not even gonna get a tower, not even the well, hanging on barely. It is in that top lane. So Sonya does have a retreating heal there just in case it is needed. So maybe positioning it on the wall and grabbing the wall next time might have been a better play, but you do get a little bit of a chunk onto that fort, about a third of the health bar. And now Diablo rotating up to the top lane, looking to pop that nuke. You can see him positioning here, looking to get as much value as possible off the nuke, as you should be looking for.
It's actually going to be going ahead and just rotating right down. And I wonder if they're going to be trying to take this fight here that's in mid, as we do get the Kharazim falling very early in this fight. They are trying to get onto this backline. Ro is the apple of their eye. They're actually going to go ahead and separate Solid Jake from the team as Ro comes back trying to heal them up. DJ Tyrant taking quite a bit of damage. There is the stun that does save him from the spin to win from Sonya, and that's a really good disengage that they make on the side of Nexus Realm Power Heroes as Blizz Trollin is trying to just get some of these picks here and there.
Yeah, Solid Jake just absolutely shredding Bags there. Sonya stands no chance to the mighty minigun of CotS as it just absolutely melts the health bar of Sonya. You see Diablo pop off that nuke in the top lane, getting a little bit of damage onto that fort there. Now Raynor dealing in with the Diablo and Sonya coming in. Raynor says, no thank you, I'll run away. Deal with that fight another day. And now Diablo will turn it back to the middle lane. Maybe look for that pick on Ro in the mid as Li Ming getting a ton of poke damage onto that Morales already.
And that was insane. And during all that too, in bottom lane, there was a tongue onto the Nazebo, and he actually got pulled so far away, and they chased him so deep they almost got the pick on him. He got away with a literal sliver of health. Went ahead, got the Hearth, and is already back in lane with his Karazim, who is down here just making sure that doesn't lose too much soak against this Dahaka. And overall, these guys, I mean, this matchup between these two teams is phenomenal so far. We've had an aggressive showing from Troll and Blizz, but Nexus Realm Power Heroes, like these guys are showing up too in some of these fights. DJ Tyrant making it out so many times with just barely any health. And
the resident sleepers here today, definitely in this tournament, taking an 0-3 start to the round robin, and then just wiping Lords of the Hype Forge there, and now coming in here trying to take one off of Troll and Blizz, as now Diablo getting shredded here. Out comes the Apocalypse. Great palm. Gonna get the Diablo saved here as a DJ Tyrant looks to jump out. You got Sonya going hard onto that Raynor, but Raynor is getting healed up by the Morales. Morales just sitting there with a full mana bar. Tyke is now looking to go and apply some more pressures onto Bags, as Bags will opt to run away. Maybe sticking around for a little bit longer, but Raynor's single target damage is quite high. Bags does need to be careful there. As you can see, even Alebeard getting a little bit low, and Rosai not able to heal them up all the way. So Alebeard going to be forced up Hearth here as Karazim and Sonya look to potentially grab this bottom camp.
They grab the nuke from mid. They go ahead and utilize that in the mid lane, which is interesting to me. They had this pressure that I don't think they really needed to. They could have saved it and saved it for the keep front gate, open that up a little bit more. But they're going to go ahead. They'll burn down this mid lane fort. Karazim did rotate out with, as you said, with the Sonya, as you said, to go ahead and pick up that camp. Now they're coming back. Maybe they'll go for a pick on. No, they're not able to rotate quick enough. But at this point, we do have a little bit of a collapse potentially onto Mystic Shroud as we do get the tongue. Tychus is here, starting to shred him down. Goes ahead and gets the Gargantuan out, but unfortunately is not going to be enough. Xerxes is going to have to pop his essence and burn that just so that he can stay alive, as the rest of the team is actually rotating down. They don't pick up the nuke just yet, and this is going to get zoned away, I do believe.
Yeah, Diablo and Rosai here are going to be looking to go in onto Solid Jake. They're going to be able to get that stun into the wall. Diablo going to get that auto attack. Goodbye, Tychus. My sweet prince. Minigun sitting there on the floor. And Alebeard able to pick up that nuke. They're going to be able to take down this bottom fort with ease as Diablo looks to go in onto the Morales, and instead will get dragged by the Dahaka here. No flip, though, coming out as they'll look to just zone, played a little bit safe, and potentially be looking to use this nuke in another lane.
That was huge for them that they didn't have to lose that nuke. Granted, yes, Nazebo is off the map. He's not stacking. He's not, questing. That is it is a little bit of a downfall, but at the same time, you save the nuke, you actually get the turn, and you also manage to get the fort, and that was phenomenal play from those members. I'm curious to see now as we're getting into 13s and another nuke phase or warhead phase should be starting up quite soon. I'm curious to see if they try and pressure this, because at this point, Troll and Blizz are trying to take advantage of these members, even though they're down a talent tier.
Yeah, they've got a lot of pressure. Nazebo Toads just applying so much damage. You can see Mystic Shroud opting to take Dead Rush here and Blood Ritual. So a little bit of a different build coming out, especially with the Toads. But now he's getting chased down by Tychus and DJ Tyrant. He is thirsty for blood. Unfortunately, he will miss the stun, and able to avoid all that orb damage from Li Ming is pretty big. As we have a 3v1 in that top lane. P-Flame G gonna have to try and play it safe there, as to not get taken over by the Diablo.
That was I gotta say, like, there's so many getting away by the hair of their chin at this point. There's a lot of Flame G taking so much damage from that Li Ming orb. Gonna get healed up right away though from Ro. Not gonna be a problem at all, as Solid Jake gonna be doing the exact same thing. Gonna get healed up right away. And we also, the other thing to note is that we had Dahaka. He's already rotating up for that nuke. which is available. Styxa is going to be popping the Commandeer out, and they're going to get some damage out here as they start to chase down Diablo, and it looks like this fight is starting just to break out as we do have Wrath of Berserker pop. We also have the Apocalypse coming out, a couple stuns going out onto some of the members. Solid Jake taking quite a bit of damage from Alebeard as they start to take this fight, and it's starting to go a little sideways for Trollin Blizz as they do lose the Diablo, and it looks like Karazim getting the palm at the exact second.
Great palm there from Rosai, but unfortunately will not have it for his Diablo, who did fall earlier, which means the stacks have been reset. Down goes the Sonya as well, and then the Li Ming dropping the nuke under the fort. And because those minions are there to soak those fort shots and the minions are not there for the side of Trollin Blizz, DJ Tyrant gonna grab the nuke that has been dropped twice now from the side of Trollin Blizz, not getting popped off just yet. And I expect these nukes to hopefully, be used on a keep in the top or bottom lanes. Those are the lanes that you're going to be looking forward to throwing those nukes and just getting as much pressure in there as they do have the bosses in those lanes. And you see 3 nukes coming in on that top keep. We do see one going down on the wall, potentially another coming out onto the keep. But DJ Tyrant is getting quite low. So is Morales. Going to have to start backing up here as they do not have nearly enough health to do too much with it, but they do, I believe, pop 2 nukes there, and they get the wall, and they're gonna walk away.
They definitely do that, and it was interesting to me that they dropped 2 nukes, and they actually dropped one onto the main gate, and they got that, and then the second one was pretty much just on one of the gate front towers, and it really didn't get a ton of value on top of that. Though at this point, they are starting to try to dive once again onto Mystic Shroud. Isn't going to be working out. But it's one of those things I was looking at. I was like, oh man, like you could save that nuke and maybe double. If anything, drop one on just the gate and then push one up onto that keep. I think as you were saying, and then it's like, wait, no, it's on the gate. But either way, they'll go ahead. They'll burn those nukes. They'll open up that gate a little bit more, and realistically, they'll rotate around, clear their bottom lane, and start to push up with this camp that they're going to grab right here.
Yeah, and Nazebo sitting at 141 stacks already. Mystic Shroud doing an excellent job of looking to get those stacks. Now, here's my quarrel with going for this top boss. You walk directly through the minion wave, granting complete vision to the opposing team, and they know this now. They're making their way up to the top lane. At least I hope they know. Looks like they do. They're going to be making their way in, but luckily, they do have that boss race thanks to Sonya, Li Ming, and Nazebo there. Going to be able to melt it down and capture it. This will push out the top wave. You don't have any nukes, but you're going to be looking for a pick. This is a very aggressive play to come out of Trollin Blizz because they're a talent tier down. They're going to be looking for level 16 here, trying to get as much value as possible out of this boss. Grab that top fort, but oh my god, Bags going absolutely in. Picking up that Morales kill. The stim drone, though, coming out on Raynor just beforehand as Odin now getting popped. And this is Trollin Blizz looking like they might want to back out here. They picked up the fort. They got the boss. They picked up a kill. Great heads up play here. Will allow them to, catch up in EXP and talent tier.
I really like that. So they ended up getting that, and the Morales kill is so great for them. Now, at the same time, Dahaka was in bottom, just doing Dahaka things, managed to go ahead and get that fort, pushing up with the minion wave as well. But here's the thing. They're going to go ahead and grab this this bottom lane boss. They're just like, all right, we got top. You had to deal with that. Now we're going to go ahead and grab this bottom. This will time out perfectly with the warheads that are just popping. They're going to have to deal with that. Now, granted, someone's going to need to go back and deal with the camp that is starting to approach the keep front gate. But if they can get a pick here, that'll be huge for Trollin Blizz.
Yeah, Trollin Blizz definitely going to be looking for a pick here. They've got 1-to-1 nukes. Dahaka not in the 5-man just yet. So they're going to have to be forced down to look at this boss and kind of deal with this, which gives Trollin Blizz a little bit of time to potentially soak a lane or two, get as much XP as possible, grab double nukes in that top and the top left and top right, and now look to potentially move in here. You do see Bags taking a couple of tower shots, but he's going to pop that off there. That'll grab, I believe, the well, and then half of the towers. Whether or not we'll see this nuke go right in the middle as well. We do. This will guarantee the towers. I think you probably could have taken those towers and then made your way in, but Ro tanking a little bit of shots there from the nuke, as we do see a double quest completion here from Dahaka and Raynor. Seasoned Marksman and Enhanced Agility being completed. So little bit of a bonus damage coming out from Raynor now. We'll be seeing that hopefully in these next upcoming fights. Level 20 is just around the corner for both teams, but a full level lead right now for Nexus Realm Power Heroes.
At this point, I mean, we're getting close into that late game where some of these fights in a map this size, you really need to watch your rotations. This is becoming kind of a dire situation in the fact that, a long death timer is going to completely change the pacing of this game. And also the other thing to consider is that Nexus Realm Power Heroes, they're not too far off from their 20s. And with that, they can potentially take a huge fight in their favor. But I think Trollin Blizz knows that, and they're going to go ahead and just rotate around this map and just kind of play this safe as Karazim dives out, trying to get a little damage onto Zixurus.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of poke damage there onto the Dahaka thanks to the vision of the Diablo Fire Stomp. And they're looking to really just poke down on this this bottom keep, get as much pressure as possible. I mean, you've seen their boss control, their ability to take the bosses and just kind of, control that and push it down through a lane. They have a late game comp. They're showing why they have this late game comp. Out comes the Avatar though, going hard into that front line and the back line as well there. Big APOC coming out. DJ Tyrant getting quite low. Ton of damage from Odin onto Bags. Bags does get stunned here by DJ Tyrant. Out comes the Palm a little early. Will be wasted. No value out of that. One more shot from Odin before he's going to head back into the lane and clear up that camp as Avatar does end, but down goes the keep. This is a very big win for Trollin Blizz here.
That is really true, but at the same time, they need to get their Sonya back very quickly as this Bruiser camp is pushing in, and I don't know if they're... Ooh, this mini wave, I think, is just going to perfectly save it. They get up here, they're going to save their keep, but dang, is that close. And that was phenomenal. They took that fight pre-20, they played that safe, they played it real slow, as you saw, and they managed to get that keep, and that's a huge asset for them. Also saving their own catapult pressure in any lane it's a ticking time bomb for every single one of your fights now. Now with the wave being pushed up as it is, every single time they go into a next fight, it's going to be watch bottom lane, because catapults are already halfway down, and as long as they drag this out, and they're going to look to do that as they're trying to get 20s themselves. This is only going to be in favor for Trollin Blizz if they can just kind of play this safe here.
Yeah, thank God you see Naz throw those owls. Owls. He's throwing owls now. He's going to be throwing those frogs into the fog of war there, scouting it out, not making a face check there. That could have been devastating for Trollin Blizz, but instead they're just going to give that top one. I'm surprised Dahaka has not dug bottom just yet, but I guess he does have a nuke currently. He's going to be looking to pop that off. Whether or not he's going to actually waste it here, I think this is a huge mistake, but it does get it off of him, and I think he's going to pay for it with his life. That's enough poison damage to take him down. He's going to die in that bottom lane. Oh my goodness gracious. He is going to survive, but barely. By the skin of his teeth, he will live. Avatar getting popped up there in that top lane as well. That's a big cooldown to keep an eye on. And Dahaka, I think he kind of wasted. He took an unnecessary risk there in that top lane on that keep, but he's going to be able to pay off, grab that nuke in the bottom lane and survive. But in comes this big boss invade. Out comes the Apocalypse, going to be able to get that 4-man stun. The boss looks to be captured here. Out comes the Odin, big red button, a ton of damage. Down goes the Murd, and Li Ming getting a ton of value, but Bags, the Sonya being taken down here by the Tychus, and now Li Ming going to be able to get that Raynor as well. Now, unfortunately, you've got I thought he got saved there. Morales getting pushed away ever so far away, barely gonna fall thanks to the poison damage of Nazebo. Nazebo picking up that Violent Infection, gonna be dealing a ton of damage. This is potentially game here. Look how low Solid Jake is. He's going to have to play it extremely safe. He's going to have to run into well, get as much healing up as possible. This boss is still relatively healthy at about a third. It's going to be going into the core here, and they've still got 4 members.
Storm shields are out. They're trying to burn down this boss. Diablo does go out just to push back Solid Jake, and at this point, Zexurus is trying to do everything he can. But unfortunately, this is going to be GG's as they are already thrown out. The boss will go ahead and finish this game, and that'll be game number 1 going over to Trollin Blizz.
Game number 1, Diablo versus Starcraft. Going over to the side of Trollin Blizz. Now, there was a little bit of a cool tidbit here. Rosai, who's playing for Trollin Blizz, and Ro, who's playing for Nexus Realm Power Heroes, were both on the same team for the last tournament here for Creators of the Storm. They were on the team that actually won the entire tournament. So regardless of the outcome of this battle, we will have a repeat winner for today.
Ooh, that's so interesting. The one thing that I'm really, really excited about is our next matchup. And so we have, we'll have a draft mid ban phase. But it's hyper carry, and I'll just read it because that's the easiest way. Only one assassin, as defined by Blizzard, is allowed on each team. Specialists and variant are not permitted. Ooh, so we're typically going to be looking at. I think the standard will be 2 tanks, 2 healers, and a hyper carry, and I think that's what we're going to be looking at here.
Yeah, I imagine 2 healers, 2 tanks, and a hyper carry. I'm expecting like a bruiser though. I expect to see Blaze, Sonya. Yeah. Some of those heroes coming out. Hyper carry Maiev, maybe. I'm not too sure.
If it even gets through draft.
It's the CC. If you have that CC, you can win anything. You don't. But the hyper carries have typically been heroes like Vala, Greymane, things like that.
Zul'jin.
Paired with the double supports. But we have another giveaway for you guys. Giveaway code. We are doing 5 giveaways. All right, guys, 5 giveaways for the grand finals. So here we go. We got Maiev, Xenotech Abathur, Mechaterial, Mecha Rhaegar, and 2 Lunar Loot Chest giveaways.
Can I want to get in this too.
All right, guys. So in the chat, could we get a hashtag, where is Hanamura? Where is Hanamura? And for those of you that had watched on the Battle.net launcher, I know you guys have definitely seen the Creators of the Storm thing up there, but you guys have probably seen the community Q&A, and on there, they did talk about a Hanamura rework coming out. So look forward to Hanamura potentially coming back in the future soon, hopefully. I'd love to see it.
I really like the idea, and some of the things that they're proposing too for the new Hanamura will be really, really interesting, and I'm excited to see what they're going to bring into that map to kind of re-energize it, maybe change it. Because at one point, if you just pushed, you won the game. Like, there were so many just strategies of just lean into the enemy team, and they will just crumble under consistent pressure so long as you're organized. And that, I think, was the big thing. And the other factor, too, is the map. I'm going to be like, when I played it, it felt a little clunky. It was, rotations. I don't think there was a really good way to establish, solo laners who's going to work here, because the way that the beacons spawn across the map is so interesting that you get to the point where it's like, all right, well, I need my solo laner here, but there's objective in top lane. So then do I rotate my solo laner or do I keep him there? Like, there's a lot of things that weren't really flushed out, and the map was kind of here for, in consideration to Haunted Mines, how long that was going. This is like a droplet in a lake, how long we actually got to play on Hanamura.
Yeah, it's just in and out of rotation so fast. But